This is Ron Woody. Friday, September the 22nd, 2023. I'm out here going to show you another little experiment beekeepers are always doing, and really we're borrowing them from some of our neighbors, of course. But in my background, you may be able to see some of my hives, and I'll flip my camera around here. So at the far end of the field there, probably 100 yards, 150 yards, I have 13 colonies. We've explained already this year that some of our colonies in East Tennessee, we're light on resources just because of the weather, like farming. So I'm feeding a little earlier than anticipated, and I'm doing something a little new on my feeding because right at this point I've got 24 hives in 4 locations. So it's a lot of work to try to feed them and getting them in preparation for winter. So I'm going to do some community feeding. I did some a little earlier when we had the dearth, but here's my new experiment that I borrowed from someone on probably a YouTube channel. My sugar is 2 parts sugar, 1 part water, which is, my calculation is 3 quarts of water per 10 pound of sugar. So each of these buckets, and you can see the sugar water there, have 20 pounds of sugar. So we got 60 pounds right here. Part of the problem with community feeding is you're going to feed some yellow jackets, probably a few hornets, and some neighbor bees. But what we've done is we've gone from mixing it up in a 5-gallon bucket to then putting some, the example I saw straw, but I had a whole lot of Johnson grass, so the bees can climb up in it, and then you put some boards there, and these are some extra boards I had when I made some shims or some extenders on the bucket so the bees can come in it. You'll put the top on it, and then you'll put a weight on it. So it's in the morning, we're not in the sun. I did put a little Honey Bee Healthy in each of these sugar and water mixtures. It's a good smell, so I'll report out later, but this is 60 pounds, which is not near enough for those 13 colonies. And I may have to do some internal feeding on one of them up there that I know is real light. And I do some internal feeding on the other sites just because there are fewer bees, and some of them are in a yard that has somebody else's bees in them also. So we'll see how this works.